Thank you for coming.
Well, no, thank you very much for the invite. It's
Well,
lovely. And you brought a bloody lovely sunny day as well. So.
Well, it's like that up here sometimes.
I spend a lot of time in Norfolk. It's not normally this sunny.
You
So.
think? Really? You're normally up this way?
It's quite. Yeah, Dad lives in King's Lynn.
Oh.
So only about 45 minutes down the road.
Oh, are you from? Well, let's start there then. Are you from this neck of the woods, or how's this happen?
No, so I grew up in a little town called Marlborough. Yeah, and lived there for 19 years. And then my parents divorced.
Okay.
Mum moved down to Winchester, and me and my dad stayed in Marlborough.
Okay.
I went to university in London,
Of
and
course you did.
my dad met a lady who was from Norfolk. And then
Norfolk.
yeah, quite right back. And he very, very sweetly, I came home from my first year sort of semester for Christmas, and he asked if I would be okay if he moved up to Norfolk. So I said, it's your life, go live it, enjoy it. He's been up here now 12 years, I think, which makes me feel incredibly old.
You're the other side of 30 now, aren't you?
Oh, just nearly, yeah, I am. I am 30. I'm 31 in July.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to it.
Got any big plans?
No.
Or did you do anything 30th?
Pub crawl through Winchester. Just a couple of the boys. I've always had a big fear about doing birthday parties. I don't know why, right?
Your own, or do you dislike for other people?
Oh, no. I love going along to people's birthday parties,
Yeah.
but I don't like organising anything for myself. I barely ever even celebrate my birthday. I think since I was 18, I've worked most of them.
Where do you think that comes from then? What is it?
Nobody would ever come to my birthday party when I was a kid.
Interesting, similar.
Yeah, so I just kind of go, well, no one's going to come along. And I got bullied into making one for my own 30th this year. So did it, invited like 30 people.
Yeah.
5 guys came along. I was just like,
see, here's my point.
Yeah. But it was great. We did, I think, 14, 15 pubs in Winchester. Started midday, finished at like 3 in the morning. My friend ended the night cuddling the toilet whilst we were all sat out the front having a cigarette. It was brilliant. My friend even started on my mum's hanging baskets. So, like, she's got a hanging basket out the front of the house. And he walked into it because my mum's quite short. She's like 5'1" on a good day. On the sofa, look, we clearly are sort of the similar height, right? Yeah, it's just lifting yourself up. So yeah, she's quite short. She can walk underneath it. My mates walked in, head planted it, and he took that as the hanging basket was starting on him. So he decided to headbutt it and then punch it off the wall. And I was just kind of sat there enjoying my cigarette, like, do you feel like a big man now?
Just observing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you've just knocked my mum's hanging basket, like her pride and joy, out the front of the house onto the floor.
Everywhere.
But yeah, that's kind of the long-winded answer as to why I tend not to celebrate my birthday.
Okay. So let's talk that guy Gray.
Yes.
Oh, so where does it come from?
So that guy Gray. So it comes from Call of Duty, of all things. Yeah. So back, I think it was Modern Warfare 2.
Right.
I think it was.
Like the days of Rainbow Six and Gears of War.
Yeah, kind of that kind of time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. The kill cam would always come up, and you would always tell you who were killed by, and it would say you were killed by.
Yeah.
And I just thought, that guy Gray kind of sounds quite fun.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then when making an Instagram, probably like the year later, all of those awful pictures when we were in bloody secondary school.
I mean, I was a bit older than that by then, but yeah, I'll get you.
Only a couple.
Yeah.
I just thought, well, that guy Gray kind of works. I'll just use that. It keeps everything nice and simple. Stuck with that. And then, yeah, when I made a TikTok the first time, like September 23, I was like, oh, what name do I use? I'll just use my Instagram name.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So just stuck with that. And yeah, it's just kind of become like an extroverted personality of myself, really, because I would always say that guy Gray and Tom Gray.
Oh yeah.
2 different people.
Yeah, it wasn't Tom Gray that was that guy Gray.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, having working as a tour guide around London for years, you kind of take on a different persona when you're working, because as much as we can sit and have a conversation, have a cup of tea, a beer, whatever, this is fine. But to try and engage somebody online, if I'm talking with this very monotone, flat voice, a lot of people just click off. So I was like, all right, well, I'll bring tour guide Tom into it. And that's kind of where that guy Gray came in. I was like, all right, run with it.
So how does your social, because you're kind of a big deal on social media.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay, I'm telling you, in my opinion, you're kind of a big deal. You're probably one of the people, in my you know, in my phone book or whatever, probably got one of the most followers. You've done incredibly well. So fucking, you know, well, I don't want it to sound patronising, but well done. It's a fucking big deal.
That's very sweet of you to say, and I'm not. Thanks. And you know, it's not me kind of dusting it under the rug, and I'm not kind of, you know, quashing or belittling anything you said. I'm just not very good with compliments, and it's also a thing of, you look at other people and you kind of go, well, yeah, but they've got millions and millions and millions.
That is not what we should be doing.
No.
Don't look at where other people are. It's one of my things, you know. It's like, what is success to you is different to other people. You know,
100%.
I think I spoke to, we'll come to the summit in a minute.
Yeah.
But I think I was speaking to Sean about what do you see as success or something like that. And it was, it might have been Patrick's. Anyway, and I said, you know, you can see, and like, I feel sometimes I'm not successful because I haven't got a gold medal, Joel, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and I think, well, actually, a lot of things I have done for my own, other people, it feels like a success just to get up in the morning.
Yes.
So you've just got to own what's good.
100%. And I think, you know, social media for me, the only reason I ever started doing it was just to have like an online CV, so that when I went to go for presentership roles, I could say, well, look, here's, I don't know, like 400 hours of me talking in one take without ever a single break. I can present. That's kind of that was the idea of it. It was never any idea to, you know, to have a following or to, you know, get recognized on the street or anything like that. Like, that was never the goal. The goal was just to have a CV. And true success to me is very simple, and that is to be a loving husband and a father to look up to. Like, that's all I ever want. That's all I've ever wanted. Right. You know, I could have millions in the bank. I could have, you know, all of the cars, the big house. And yes, I want that. Like, that's what I want. And I've always had this weird image in my head, and it almost kind of sounds counterintuitive, that when I'm, you know, older and I've got, you know, maybe a 5-10-year-old kid, weirdly it's always been a daughter, but I've been working in a garage on one of my cars and my daughter's there helping me. That to me is success. So, you know, the 800 or so thousand followers I think it now is on social media, which sounds insane.
That is incredible, isn't it?
It's bonkers. It's silly numbers.
What's the breakdown like? I assume you can look at this, can't you, on analytics? Like, are they UK? Are they male? Are they female? Are they 24? Are they 48?
It's good question. I would say that the majority of followers are probably from, or the majority of people that watch my content are from the UK, USA, which is hilarious. Got rag on Americans a lot. Canadians.
Don't they?
Yeah.
So English to them.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a guy with a blooming twisty moustache and a bloody tie. They're like,
of course.
Oh, this is amazing.
In London.
Quite. So, but yeah, so they're mainly from like Commonwealth countries, and I would say the largest portion of the people that watch my content are between 25 and 34. But then the second largest is I think 54 to 65.
Interesting.
Because a lot of the stories that I tell are military history, and that excites a lot of the older folks. Don't get me wrong, I would say, I think last I checked, which was a while back, the split of audience is like 70 to 30 men to women.
Right. These are such good things for somebody that wants a presenter, is that you are appealing to your right demographic, the people that they want on the TV, right? It's not like me that's going to be, let's face it, if I've got too much tight clothes on, I'm going to have more men follow me. They're not the people that want to, they're not the ones that TV channels want.
Yeah, you know that's, and it's also not the type of people that you're wanting to reach, right? You're trying to reach people that,
not the audience I'm targeting.
Yeah, you want an audience that is people that maybe need reassurance and proof that you can literally do anything you set your mind to.
Literally.
Right? You're not going to want the lechy middle-aged dude who's just sat there going, oh, yes, it's a nice dress. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, and it's really interesting that I do have a portion of people that watch my content that are, you know, younger, 16 to sort of 25, 24. The majority of the people that watch my content that are at that age bracket are actually usually watching my mental health stuff, which is really nice, and that fills me with a lot of hope.
Yeah, that's nice.
But
gives you a reason, doesn't it, sometimes?
Exactly. And you know, I'm sure you're no stranger to this. When you make mental health content, it can sometimes feel a little bit cringy. Like, am I doing this correctly? Does this feel right?
Is this going to feel inappropriate to somebody? Am I actually going to offend somebody? This is coming from the heart, but it might get read wrong and received wrong.
Yeah.
It's difficult.
So, and then when you get messages from people saying this really helped, or you get people coming up to you and like saying, "Can I have a hug? I watched one of your videos."
That's a goosebumps moment, isn't it? That's the
click. I can't describe the feeling of joy, pride, and also weirdly like imposter syndrome.
Oh, yeah.
Because I don't. All I did was I just told you to look at yourself differently.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you to do anything important.
Yeah. I haven't done anything groundbreaking. I haven't done anything massive. I don't deserve what you're giving me here.
Yeah.
Kudos, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't believe.
Yeah. I'm rehashing somebody else's work.
But again, that's part of, isn't it, where it's the imposter syndrome, isn't it? It's also just do you believe in yourself? Do you see yourself as the way I probably see you? Probably not.
No, I am probably one of the most self-conscious people you'll ever come across.
Yeah.
I'm very, very judgmental of myself.
Yeah.
Far more like I will never judge a book by its cover. I will judge myself day in and day out.
Yeah.
And
over and over.
Constantly. Like I've got a very, very loud inner monologue.
Right.
And it's a very, very hyperactive monologue. So it will happen like as I'm doing stuff, say I'm gonna go, open the door, I'm gonna pick up a cup of tea, or I'm gonna light a cigarette, or I'm gonna roll it. My inner monologue, as I'm doing it, will be judging me. And it will just basically like, why did you roll it like that? Oh, you couldn't even do that? Oh, you looked, yeah. And it's like everything I do. Everything.
That I can't imagine that battle.
So like all I'm thinking, like when I was like a second ago, my ring had fallen down to here, and I was going, people are going to see that.
Yeah.
Pull that up, you look like a tit.
And now I'm sitting there having noticed.
Yeah. So it's like it's everything, and sometimes it works brilliantly because it means that I study everything that I do and can I do it better. But a lot of the time, it's just like
you're doing the opposite as well, aren't you?
Yeah. It's
because how can I do it better is great for learning, but how can I do it better is suggesting that you haven't done to your best.
Exactly. It's draining,
yeah.
But and that's who I am. I'm never going to turn the inner monologue off.
Well, you can't.
No, it's impossible. Not unless I get a lobotomy, and I don't fancy doing that.
Today?
No, I don't like things going up my nose.
Good to know.
Ex-copper, I feel like I need to
lay
the groundwork. Yeah, exactly.
I thought we were in for pie. How about As You Were? Talk me about that.
Yeah, no, good question. So that kind of just came out of nowhere, if I'm being honest.
It's amazing to have that thing.
It makes life so much simpler.
You're the As You Were guy.
And to be fair, my sister gets this on dating like platforms. Like, so there's a couple of pictures of me and her, I think my brother's wedding, and a couple of people are messaging going, "Is that As You Were bloke?" And it's like, you are not getting me out on a date by complimenting my brother.
My God,
no. Yeah. But it kind of came from, I can actually tell you where it came from. So I was driving a 60s Jag one day, and I was like, some days are bad days, some days are good days, and then some days you get to drive a classic Jag in the sun. And I was just bimbling around, and I hoofed it off. And I just kind of looked at the camera and went, "As You Were." Just threw away comment. And then as soon as I like played it back, I was like,
"Oh, that's a thing.
That worked." And then I did a little bit of research into it, and "As You Were" is a common phrase used specifically in the American military. We use it a bit, but mainly in the American military. Okay. And it's basically after they've given a briefing or they've had a chat, and they just go, "At ease, as you were."
Yeah.
So I was just like, that kind of works because I'm a gobshite. So
Do you think?
I'm just a loudmouth. Maybe not a gobshite.
Or is this you trying to turn somewhere your confidence is almost, you're trying to turn it almost negative on yourself because that's what you do?
My online persona is definitely a loudmouth. And when I've had a beer, I'm a very loud, gregarious sort of person, which is why I tend not to drink that much.
Okay.
But again, yeah, it's just a case of I will always find a reason to self-deprecate rather than compliment. And I can't do it the other way around.
Is that your biggest flaw?
I don't know. I would say my biggest flaw is that I never allow myself to be happy. That would probably be my biggest flaw.
Tom.
Yeah. I don't, because if I'm, life is all about struggle, right? Overcoming that struggle. What is my next struggle? And it's not like I'm walking around going, I'm a victim, what am I suffering from now? But I really struggle with happiness. That is probably my biggest thing.
Any idea where it comes from? Is it you feel you don't deserve it, or?
Oh, massively. I don't deserve anything I've got. Like, at all. Like, it's why me, right? Why am I lucky enough to, drive the car that I have, or why am I lucky enough to have the most beautiful woman in the world as my other
None
half?
of that's luck, Tom.
I'm not saying that it is luck, but why me?
But you said, why am I lucky enough too?
Well,
it's not luck.
True, but it's a case of I'm terrible, and my girlfriend will, she finds it really difficult.
Oh, she is beautiful, by the way.
She's stunning, and it's her. I always like to tell her that her beauty was the last reason that I'm with her.
As a woman, she'll love. You don't need me to tell you that, but as a woman, that must be fantastic to hear.
Yeah, like to
know that someone has any feelings about you past what you look like. It's golden, because you don't get it often.
No, and that's awfully sad. I find, it's what was it somebody said? They said men and women fall in love in different ways. Women fall in love with what they hear. Men fall in love with what they see, which is why men lie and women wear makeup.
Oh, bloody hell!
Right?
Yeah.
But it's like, don't get me wrong. When I first saw Nadine, I was attracted to her. I was like, literally, I was like, most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Natural History Museum, in real life. I know, it's incredible. But we were both working a job, so it was actually one of the last gigs I ever had with my business, and I was doing my best impression of the child snatcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, because I was handing out chocolate to kids at the back of a car. Like, it's terrible, it's awful, right? I was paid to be there. I was supposed to do that. I wasn't doing it for fun. And she was there as a hostess, because it was a big Festival of Britain, kind of showing off everything that we've got to a bunch of Americans. And as I was handing out chocolate, she came outside and my jaw literally hit the floor. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And I remember I got really annoyed because she was on one side of the exit and I was on the other side, and I couldn't go over without being unprofessional. And about 5 minutes later, my mate came up and he went, right, Tom, it's your time to go for some dinner. I was like, oh, perfect. Get out of this grump, because I can't go chat to her. So went and had some food, came back, and as I came back, she had moved off to some other part, and she looked frigid, so unbelievably cold, like just absolutely freezing. She was in a t-shirt, and this was in, probably 10 o'clock at night in, it would have been July. You would expect it to be warm.
Was last year or?
Yeah, last year, and it was raining. So I was just like, right, well, I'm in a jacket and a 3-piece. So I just went up to her and said, do you need my coat?
Gentleman.
The rest is history. And she is the funniest little goofball that I've ever met. Constantly taking the mick out of herself, same as me, but she does it from a positive place.
Yeah.
She's so unbelievably kind, caring, the most supportive human being I think anybody has ever drawn up. And she just so happens to be the most beautiful woman in the world.
Yeah. You've just referred to yourself as Thomas.
Yes.
I know you as Tom.
Yeah.
Does that bother you being a Tom, or are you a Thomas, or?
Professionally, I'll always go with Thomas.
I used to go for Jennifer.
Yeah, because it kind of, I don't know if it's like, if it's your sort of like baptism name or like legal name, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So you kind of feel like, well, that's my actual name.
I think I sound like an adult as Jennifer. Jenny definitely doesn't sound like an adult. Jenny's going to get told
drinking Buckfast in the park with a couple of tinnies.
Or VK Blue or something like that. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, something like that. Or Blast Away, as I used to drink, but
Blast
Away and Diamond White. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was a mess. Right, leading to how we know each other.
Yes.
The summit.
Well, it goes back quite a long way.
Year and a half now.
A year and a half, yeah.
Crazy. Maybe a bit. How did you appear on the summit?
How did I appear?
How did it happen? How was your casting process?
Right, yes. So they found me unsurprisingly on TikTok. So I just got reached out by somebody. They said, we're making a TV show. Do you want to be involved? My response back was, this sounds like spam.
Yeah.
So I was like, can you email me, please, with some credentials, and maybe I'll think about it. Because reality TV is, I don't consume it. It's never been on my radar.
No, I didn't think so. I was just coming to my next
question.
But yeah.
And sent through the credentials. Like, okay, this seems pretty legit. Got told that it was an adventure show, and it was kind of, let's go, let's push ourselves to the limit. And I was like, this sounds fun.
Yeah.
Like, I'm up for this. Did all the interview process, and crash bang wallop, and suddenly in a field in the middle of New Zealand going, how did I get here?
When did you know it was going to be New Zealand?
That's actually a good question. think probably only like a week or two before we left.
I didn't know it till quite, because I remember being told we had to have some kind of malaria jab or something, and I thought, oh, this is a beach.
I got told
it's a cross between Survivor and Traitors. Did you get told that?
Yeah, I got told SAS Who Dares Wins, but that's probably because I like military. So
yeah, so they pitched it to and let me tell you, there's nothing like Survivor and Traitors, but here we are. But I remember thinking my biggest concern here right now is I need to be beach body ready. Oh, how wrong was I?
Covered from head to 24/7.
Yeah, and also Botox doesn't work at altitude. Brilliant. What a waste of money that was. Here we are.
Love that.
Yeah. Okay, so we make it to the show. First impressions when you get there. Yeah.
We get out of the Land Rovers, right?
Yeah, let's skip.
Well, actually, no. We're in the Land Rovers because we're in the Land Rover together.
Yeah.
Right. It was me, you, and Tara, and we were just sort of back and forth, having a giggle, just like, what the fuck have we signed up for?
Now I know that obviously you're not a stranger to the camera.
No.
So you didn't feel awkward saying these ridiculous things out the car? Because I felt Tara didn't either. I was out my comfort zone with that. I'm okay on the camera, but I'm not kind of like, oh, look at that.
Yeah.
This is amazing. That's not me.
Yeah. Like it felt a bit weird because
hamming it up a bit.
Yeah, because obviously it's TV, so you got everything's dialed up to 11,
isn't it?
Right. But it was more a case of just where the hell are we? What we're about to go and do? And you're kind of looking at all the scenery out the back of this landy.
Yeah.
Sort of getting jumped up and down, and without getting too grotesque, your testes falling under your thigh and then landing back on that. That fucking sucked.
Well, I think the only thing I really say in episode 1, I say to you something about this wasn't a good day not to wear a bra. Something's the only thing I say in that one. Oh Christ, here we go. This is Jenny.
So good. I was like, yeah, that's red. Very good. And then we get out the back of the landies, and it was quite fun because I was like, right, I'm going to try and make something out of this. So I jumped straight on top of the landy and I'm pulling everything off.
You did?
That was great.
I'd forgotten that.
I loved that. And I nearly took somebody's eye out because I remember I pulled the bungee cord and it literally ping. I was like, oops, my bad. Okay. So it did all of that. And it was at that point I remembered that I was a little bit scared of heights. I was stood on the top of the Land Rover looking down going, oh shit, that's a long way down.
Having you here now has just reminded me there was something they couldn't work on the Land Rover and you fixed it. What was it?
Oh, it was the rear door. They couldn't fix the doors.
Couldn't open the doors or something.
Couldn't open the door and then couldn't shut it again. And I was like, it's a Land Rover, to shut it, just fling it shut. And then they were like, it's locked. And I was like, no, it's not open. Yeah. There you go. And they're like, oh, okay, we'll have to reshoot that bit. And they're like, we know what to do now. I was like,
I remember that now.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
Did you recognise anybody from anything, as in like socials or anything before? Did you know anybody?
Ben Shepherd, and that was it.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know. I couldn't even remember his name when he first came out. And they were like, "Oh, that's Ben Shepherd," and I was like, "Oh yeah, now I get it. Very good."
Do you think anybody on the show when you came out, which we'll come to, but when you came out, did anybody already follow you? So did you look and thought this person should have known who I was?
No, no one did.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because there were 14 of us with quite a wide. Quite a diverse group.
Yeah.
Yet none of us followed you, which is it because, as I said earlier, you've got a hell of a following, and you've got quite a diverse following in that.
Yeah.
None of us were there because, Tyra, when she met Joel, they already followed each other. They didn't know each other, but because they're both sporting.
They're very much in the same kind of world. Right? Yeah. One's an Olympian, one's a football.
Yeah, and one's Tyra's very heavy in content creation, isn't she? She's
massive
influencer-y.
Yeah.
What's the difference between influencer and a content creator in your eyes? Which are you?
Neither. Content creator sounds like you have an OnlyFans, and an influencer is somebody that thinks they are more important than anybody else on the face of the planet because they got a large following. So
thinks that I can eat a Jaffa cake and you'll all go and buy them.
Exactly. I'm neither of those. I'd like to say that I'm a automotive media personality.
Oh, do you not think that's even more ego-y, putting personality at the end?
I guess, yeah, you could say it's more ego-y, but I guess if you just say automotive media person, I like same thing. It's just personality rolls off the tongue a little bit.
Yeah, it does. And you've got to own it.
Yeah, and it's, I used to say automotive content creator, and then somebody sounds like I run fake taxi, and I was like, All right, fair. Yeah, all right. I'm not saying that anymore.
Yeah, no, the description is absolutely right. Yeah, I tend to agree with it. So, what were your biggest fears going on to the summit?
Two biggest fears. I'll do one better. Three biggest fears: heights,
Yeah.
being first off.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
And the court of public opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Those three were very, very high in my mind at all times. Especially the latter, because it's a case of you can't say anything. You've got to be very careful and mind your P's and Q's. And I'm used to that being like short little bursts.
Yeah.
I am a potty mouth, and in real life. But when a camera's on me, I tend to try and not, unless it's for a good reason.
You're conscious of a camera being on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or at an event or around. Yeah.
And
I didn't know you were. That's interesting.
Oh God, yeah. Like, because that's the thing is swearing is perfectly fine. I've got no issue with it, but people don't need to hear swearing all the time. So it's if you can get away without swearing, don't swear. But if I'm with my boys down the pub, literally every third word's an F for Jeff or C. You just do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I realised how much the camera's on you from the first episode of the summit and watching that back, because I got caught out on something, and I don't know if it was because of the edit, but it kind of worked, so it wouldn't surprise me. And it was when Miranda said, "Oh, I've been at the front," and I just heard, and under my breath went, "No, you haven't." And I just went, "Oh, that was bitchy."
I had a similar one. Charlotte says something like,
I was like, "Yeah, no offense.
I'm not trying to be da da da." Something. Oh, it sounds like you are.
Yeah.
Oh no.
100%. But there's bits that they miss out and that they don't show, because obviously they've got to try and compress everything down. There are a couple of little like witty things that I said, and I was just like, "Oh, please be in the edit." And it wasn't. It was just me, just being a little bit catty when Miranda said she was at the front, and I was like, "Okay, well that's a reminder that you do," and I'm glad that I kind of was very, very regimented in.
From what you've seen, do you think there were some people that had kinder edits than others?
Oh, gotcha.
Who had a good edit?
I think Doc has had a good edit.
Okay, go on.
Do
you have an opinion about? Do you want to actually? Do you have an opinion about Dockers?
We're not friends.
Right. Do you pretend to be?
No, I'd never pretend to be. I get asked about him a lot.
Oh, we'll do. We'll do.
Like every time I'm out, like somebody will bring it up.
I mean, fair play to him on that. Is Dockers wanted, I would say, to get as much out of it as he could. And not only winning it, he did, but also, he wanted to be the villain, and he got the villain.
He did. I don't think he wanted to be portrayedly as bad as he was.
Yeah.
But, I would say that they probably only showed about 10%, at least of what I saw, because I went pretty quick. So I didn't see the rest of it. I think...
I had times when I actually quite got on with Dockers and but I think it might have been, in hindsight, I look and think, I wasn't that close to that many people at the beginning. I really did take a bit of a back step, and Dockers I spoke to, so I think I kind of, and we had this bit of a thing at the beginning about, I won't throw you under the bus if you don't do it to me, sort of thing. And I stopped by that. But he's a character, that's fair.
Yeah, you're gonna like him or you're gonna loathe him, and he's very much Marmite.
Yeah, I saw some good sides of him, but I saw the opposite too.
Yeah, and I guess that was the only thing like where I only ever saw the negative side of him. But like, there's one type of person I've got a real issue with, and that's people that believe themselves to be better than everybody else.
Do you not think though that probably comes more from a lack of confidence, and it's a front? Because I'm not sure that Dockers portrays a character without doubt. And I think there's an element of it, he almost believes it, and then there's this big part that actually he doesn't believe it in himself. If you look at the things, he's had his teeth done, he's had his hair done, all these things trying to improve himself. So I think it actually comes from probably a place that's quite negative.
True, but I'm
not saying it's right.
No, I don't believe in myself.
No, but
I'm not a dick.
Yeah,
okay. Somebody that had a bad edit, I think, was Patrick. I think that was the most.
Patrick didn't have a bad edit. Patrick didn't have an edit. The poor sod. I thought he was going to win the show. He's not even on it.
Mate,
I doesn't even get a backstory.
I absolutely adore him.
I love him.
I've met up with him. I had a beer with him in Charlotte not that long ago, and Mate, we just crack on like a house on fire.
I've got a lot of time for him, yeah.
Oh, he's such a gorgeous human being, and he was just.
I mean, yeah.
It was, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I don't bat that way, but I would.
Yeah.
And yeah, just such a effervescent character, very funny. You know, but he was portrayed to be very, very quiet and insular, and really didn't do anything. But I think he was portrayed as quiet because he never got 2 words in.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things where a lot of very big characters, and we've only got a certain amount of camera, and there are a couple of personalities, won't go into it too much, I felt were often just trying to get the camera, so the rest was just had to stuff it, really. But I think Patrick was quiet. I think he is quiet in a set. Tyra's another example of this. I think they're both quite quiet in a setting that perhaps not too comfortable in, amongst your own, loud. You know, because
maybe it's just a group thing.
Yeah.
Right, and also
don't need to fight for your place, maybe, because they're both confident who they are.
Exactly. I mean, you know, Patrick to me was never quiet, but that's just because I was always stood next to Patrick.
Yeah.
Like I was stood next to Patrick, to Warren, to Charlotte. That's who I was mainly with. You know, so to me, he was never a quiet individual. And I can remember watching it back, and I was like, I got voted off on the first show. He at least made his episode 2. I got a backstory, and he didn't. But I think a few people wanted to go on there to become famous. I wanted to go on there to push myself. And if it gave me a platform to then go and work at ITV as a presenter, I was like, golden.
Yeah.
It's worked for so many other people that have, you know, gone and, you know, built presenting careers off the back. And that was kind of where my head was at. I just said, well, this is a career move. Like, let's see if it works. But it was mainly like, I'm scared of heights.
Yeah.
If I can go up a mountain.
That first crossing we did.
Brutal.
Fucking hell.
Use your neck.
Oh, it kills me. Absolutely kills me.
Every time. But I don't know if you can remember, after and I'm quite glad they cut it because I said one of the most cringy lines ever, because I went over second. Because I was like, look, I'm terrified of heights. If I can do it, anybody can do it. So I went over and I got to the end and I had like a proper come to Jesus moment. I was like, yes! I've done it! And I can remember I shouted, "Who's your daddy?" And I was like, as soon as I said it, I was like, but the next line was brilliant because I then said, "Shepherd, where's my Guinness?"
Oh yes.
And then when we got the base camp and I got given a Guinness.
You did.
And I was so annoyed that wasn't in. I was just like, that would have been a brilliant story.
So we then first base camp.
Yes.
What do you remember from that? Significantly.
Oh God, I don't want to give him airtime, but Doc is just being a dick. That's literally the main thing I remember because he accused me of putting his glove on the fire.
What do you think happened?
He left it outside. And I know he left it outside because I put both of his gloves on his hands because his hands were too cold. So after the first challenge, everybody stood round.
Yes.
I went round and checked everyone's backpack, made sure everybody had their coat done up correctly, make sure everybody had their gloves on.
Fucking busybodying around everywhere, weren't you?
I was cold. So I was just like, I'm going to keep moving. So I made sure everybody had all of their gear sorted. Because also half the people on the show had never actually gone hiking before.
Obviously, yeah.
The majority of people. I have. Like, so it was a case of, right, well, I'm going to be useful. I had already been on the other side for a long time at that point. So I was like, right. So I got everybody's bags sorted. I remember I tied all everyone's bags up, got them sorted, got everyone's coat sorted, got everyone's gloves on. So obviously you have to go gloves in, then cuff on the outside, tighten up. You can't do that with thick gloves on. So I did that for literally everyone. I can remember I put Docker's summer spec gloves, as I called them, the little thin ones on.
Yeah.
And he went, I'm still cold. Can you put my other ones on? But he didn't have any grip to do it. So I was like, all right. So I put both sets of gloves on his hands.
Right.
And then in the morning, he was like, who went and nicked my glove? And it's like,
oh, it's inside the big one then, was it?
Yeah. Well, I think it was the big one burnt. I think that's what it was. And I was like, clearly just took them off. Like, don't come for me. And then, you know, he kept calling he's like, you calling me a liar?
Yeah.
And it's like, no. But I don't think it helped that, and this bit didn't make it in the show. I called him out around the campfire that night.
Yeah.
Because he was just like, oh, how'd you get on the show? He's like, well, it's going to be on Married on First Sight.
Yeah.
And I was like, hang on. You were telling me earlier that your girlfriend's basically Margot Robbie. So which one is it?
Yeah, because he said he'd been cast on maths, didn't he? And
then,
he chose to do this instead.
Yeah. And I was just like, well, which one is it? And he was like, you called me a liar. I'm like, no, I'm just repeating your words back to you.
Yeah.
Choose.
Yeah.
And I think it was at that point he was just like, I can't stand next to him because he'll just make me look like a tit.
Yeah.
And I did. And I probably should have played it a little bit smarter, but...
Do you think that? Do you look back now and think I should have played things differently? Things might have played out different? Or are you, it's not worth thinking about at this point?
No, I'm quite
wouldn't have
happy
got any
how I
more
played it.
followers anyway. You've already got them all.
That's so kind of you. I mean,
Yeah.
I wanted to be in it longer so that I could see how much I could do. Because there were a couple of challenges I was watching back, and I was watching you guys do it, and I was like, I don't know if I could have done that.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to see if I could do it. That's why I went there. Do I regret that I locked horns with Doc in Australia? No. And I spent all of my time that I could there just helping everybody in my own way, be that getting to a difficult bit, breaking it down, which I got told off for doing, by the way. After I'd done it for like sort of 24, 48 hours, people were like, Tom, you need to stop doing this. You're making it easy for everyone. I'm like,
so
that's kind of why I'm here, right? It's to make everyone else's life easy.
So you won't know this, but after you go, we'll cover next, but after you go, we're going up the mountain or going up one of the climbs, the big one, or no, maybe, yeah, no, it must have been that. I'm sure you'd gone by then.
Yeah.
And we're going up and there's all these branches in the way.
Yeah.
So I start ripping them out of the way. And I say something like, probably a slightly derogatory piss taking, that I was being a bit of you, getting all the branches out of the way because I'm a do-gooder, and with that branch hit me in the face. And,
instant karma.
Like that. And now the cut on my chin didn't go. All the time I was there, I was like, I wish I'd fucking done it, because I had this scab on my chin.
Absolutely.
From branch, I thought, well, that was my own fault. That is karma. Slagging off Tom, douche. That's it, yeah. So yeah, that's what I thought. That's typical.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't regret playing it the way that I did. I understand that I could have come across as a very much do-gooder, but that's just what I do as a person. It's like, right, can I help? Yeah, all right, done.
Yeah.
I've got some downtime. Let's do it.
Yeah. I mean, that was, I think that this is the thing, and I've covered this on a few places, that, you know, when the first person goes, you've got all your self-preservation, firstly, because I don't want it to be me. Yeah. And then also we haven't had a lot of time to build any relationship with anybody. So it's literally the smallest little thing that's pissed someone off. Yeah. And it's like, right, and
I was a people pleaser, and it's annoying. Yeah. And you couldn't tell if it was genuine or not.
Yeah, and to some people it is annoying. Yeah. And sometimes if you're sitting there, I don't mean you, me, people, and I'm not running around looking after people, I wonder if there's actually a path I should be doing that too. Am I putting myself vulnerable because they're doing all that, and that's going to put me, anyway. So I think there was a bit of that for me. When you went, so we go over the bridge. Yeah. I'll get this out of the way. Yeah. When we were doing the crossings, who chose your position crossing the bridge?
I did.
Right. You chose to be last on the bridge, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Because I said the worst positions to do it are first or last. First, you've got to go and you've got to see what it's like. Last, you've got no one to give you a little pep talk.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll go last.
You're the only one that didn't need a pep talk. She'll pep talk.
It was more of a case of just, well, I went second last time, I'll just go last. Like, I've got no issue with that. Like, fine. So I was like, yeah, I'll just go last, whatever.
When the copter's on me, don't like my character, and then the comes along, did you at that point realise what was coming?
Yeah, I knew I was going home. As soon as I saw the mountains keeper, I knew I was going home.
Did you?
Yeah, they cut it. I turned to Charlotte and go, I'm going home. She was like, how can you tell? And I was like, that's supposed to be a menacing presence. It's turned up. We're taking our time to do this. I'm last in the queue. I'm going home. And you don't see it, but Charlotte has a little cry. Oh, me and her have a little we have a little cuddle. Yeah. So we had a little cuddle, and I was stood in front of the camera, and they were like, Tom, any thoughts? And I was just like, I'm going home. They're like, no, have you got any thoughts? I was like, I'm going home. And I am. And I was this close to shout across, because Sean and Dockers were stood on the other side with a massive smug grin on their face. And I was this close to shouting, either are you going to man up and tell me exactly what you've done?
Obviously we couldn't, but yeah.
Yeah, and I knew I was going home as soon as Dockers came back, because he was smiling like a Cheshire cat. And I was like, I'm done.
From what you know and what you've seen, do you feel, or do you think that Dockers was hugely influential in you going at that point?
I think where he named somebody straight off the bat, that's definitely gonna
makes it easier for the people.
Yeah. I think he had an issue with me. I didn't have an issue with yourself. Maybe Miranda, because I was always walking ahead, but I was always trying to make sure that she was okay. As I was with everybody else. And then Sean, I never had an issue with. But Dockers, I had an issue with.
Yeah.
And as soon as somebody says one name, that's a get out of jail free card for everyone.
It is.
Whether or not he then carried on persistently saying, we must do this, we must do that.
It certainly wasn't how it was shown on there.
It's a get out of jail free card.
He says straight away, yeah, Tom, whatever. And I straight away agree. Transparent.
I kind of figured where you were the one to chop the axe.
Well, that was the funny old thing, actually, because obviously I was the one that the mountains keeper came. So it's like, how are we going to say who's going to do it?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, technically, it should almost, the best way to make this play out is that the mountains keeper comes on me, so therefore I've got to do it. So that's why when the decision was made, in the end, Dockers was like, I want to do it, I'm going to do it. And then in the end, I said, I'll just fucking do it.
Fair.
So I thought, it's the right thing to, well, I'm sure you saw I was quite upset when it happened.
Yeah.
I was quite conflicted. It all, for me, came, my version of it, yeah, Dockers was vote for you. Yeah, I'm sure you've been told this. Dockers, Sean, you're right, was vote for you. Miranda did.
Yeah.
She then flipped and went somewhere else, and then she flipped back to you.
Fair.
I did say you, and I hesitated for a second. I thought, no, just stick with your first choice.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I was upset, because I wasn't questioning my choice at the time, but I did know that you weren't a bad person. But you were up there with a few people that I was close to.
Yeah.
So that was certainly difficult.
Yeah, you were red straight from day dot.
Yeah, and I love that you nicknamed me that.
Production didn't.
Yeah, I love that. I did like that, and I think that was probably my biggest struggle with it. But I think, looking back, the triggers for me, it was tiny things. There was the whole milling around helping each other all the time, and I think looking back now, probably comes from an area of guilt for me that I didn't, and I should have maybe or could have done. And I think looking back, that's what that is.
That's fair.
And there's this one thing. Do you want to know the one thing that was probably the trigger?
Yeah, go for it.
We were walking up one of the mountains. And
hills at that point, let's be honest.
Yeah, they were all for me. I'm a pensioner, for Christ's sake. I remember Miranda was at the bottom and Charlotte was geeing her up. You were at the front, clipboarding it. Being very, come on, everyone, come, motivating, absolutely were. And there was I was in the middle, and there was a question, something like, oh, who's at the back? Do they need helping up? Or something like that.
Yeah.
And Charlotte was doing a great job of booting Miranda up there as it was. And I think you came down and were like, right, let me go find out what's going on at the bottom. And I was like, fucking hell, you're doing a great job at the front.
Yeah.
Okay, just concentrate at the front. The rest of us were okay. We've got it covered. And that was it. Such a small thing.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. I can understand how that could come across as arrogant. Well, I'm all the way up there, but I'll come back down here just to go back.
I've got to do this as well, because I'm doing the front. I've got to do the back as well. So yourself, Tom. And
I don't think that. Yeah, it was. I was very much an Energizer bunny.
Yeah, and because I wasn't close to Charlotte at that point either, so I was also Charlotte and a motivational. I didn't deal with very well either, because I was struggling to be motivated. I think
100%, and like it's the problem that I have is I've got a lot of energy, and sometimes I don't know how to put it. So like when after the first challenge and we've been sat there for ages, it's a case of right, I'm going to make sure everybody's good, because also I don't like it when I get cold. And I get cold very quickly from like standing still. I then freeze.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a case of like, right, keep moving, keep going, keep the blood going. Like, I can remember after the first challenge, I twinged my back, because where I did Dockers with the neck technique, I got halfway, and obviously it gets really tight at that point. And I can remember my neck went like that, and it just twigged my back. I spent the majority of the time whilst everybody was coming across, lying on my back in agonizing pain. And the only thing that fixed it was the fact that I led completely flat in the tent that night. I didn't even use a roll mat. I was just like, right, just lie on your back and be fine. And I can remember, and I'm glad they didn't put it in the edit, I kept a straight face for the rest of that day. Again, moving shit, breaking shit down. I got into the tent and nobody else was in there with me. And I literally fell to the ground and had a little weep. I was like, I am in so much pain. I can't, because I didn't want, like, as soon as you say, oh, I'm in pain, everybody goes, all right, weak link, goodbye.
Yeah, bye.
So I was just like, well, I'm not going to show that I'm in pain. I can remember it literally went down onto one knee, went onto another, and I just was like, oh, I'm
you're right.
So much pain.
You do not want to show weakness, did we, at all?
Hell no. And I guess that was my counter to not showing any weakness, was don't stop moving.
Yeah.
And that, unfortunately, that was the thing that bit me in the ass. Yeah. But again, I don't care. It's
what it is, isn't it?
Exactly. What happened. Everything happens for a reason. I don't know what. That? Yeah, of course, everything happens for a reason. I went on that TV show. It created a rift between me and my then girlfriend, and we split up. I am now with the love of my life. That is the reason of me going on the show.
Are we proposing soon or what?
I can afford it. Yeah, 100%. It's a case of.
I see 2 of my followers want to follow you. That might help. 2 of you follow him, please.
Cheers. But you know, it's as soon as I can, I'll marry that woman, and I lay all of my cards on the table because I'm 30. I haven't got time to be wasting around.
So what's she?
She's 30. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, I was just like, I want to be married, want to have kids, want a house, I want to be a success. I'm going to be busy. Like, I'm going to do everything.
You're like, let's not piss about you down.
Yeah. And I was half expecting to go, oh, this is too much. See you later.
Yeah.
And then she looked at me and she went, all right, bet. And I was like, okay.
Have you done dating apps?
Tried. Failed. Hated them. And I would get probably, if say I'd swipe right like 500 times, I'd probably get like 1 match.
Where do you think that's from then? Why do you think that doesn't work for you?
I'm not a particularly good looking dude, and I'm much more of a conversationalist.
Right.
Like, I could charm anybody.
Yeah.
But I have to be face to face.
Yeah.
And
it's very superficial, isn't it? The dating work. Very.
Yeah. It's very. Look at me. I'm on a yacht. I'm drinking cocktails at the Shard, or I'm doing this, or I'm doing that, and it's like, I don't necessarily do any of that stuff.
Yeah, and you can also be eliminated very quickly from your life. You look like, right, I don't like the background of that picture. Goodbye. I don't like these curly tash. Go. Don't like whatever these things.
Exactly.
Very. Oh, London. No.
Yeah. Tweed suit.
Cigarette in a picture. No.
No. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I never really had any luck with dating apps.